Not me.
Here comes the girl. Girl. Here comes the boy. Girl.
Enjoy it? What was your first reaction when you went off the top?
Oh, shitting myself.
It's amazing.
Did you do it again?
No words for that. Oh yeah, definitely. That was so good.
So what was your first feeling when you went off the top?
I was terrified. I have no idea actually. All I knew is I thought I was being really stupid.
Do you think the countdown helped to get you off?
Oh, I wouldn't have jumped without it.
Do you want to do it again?
Yeah.
Really exciting,
It
eh?
was, yeah.
How would you describe it?
Oh, I've never felt anything like that. That was amazing. It's better than parachuting, especially when you go in the water. It was great.
Back at the bungee jump. See what's happening here today. Taking a look at the Shotover River, and there is the jumping bridge, and there's where all the crazy people gather to go jump. And there is where they jump from, and they go down to there. Oh, there is a brave soul. This gal getting ready to jump.
Watch the water.
Bungee jump number 2 for this gal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Comes another brave gal. Just to get a perspective here of how far down it really is. She's signing her life away here. Do you believe this?
Speak American. Keep coming. I don't bite. Beautiful. Fly gear on, haven't you? Fly gear on. Fly gear. You're dressed up, rugged up, ready to go, rock and roll. See, it's warmed up a bit.
Okay.
She wants to stay. It's not good to look down, I'll tell you. He couldn't get in line quick enough. About 1 second into it. Oh, your whole body's so yeah. Just about there, you start.
That was a time scream.
You don't know where you are when you've done your second.
Did you like it that time?
She just got into it.
She liked it.
It's okay, though.
Oh, look, wow, she really liked
I didn't know where I was. Was I waving at you at a long time?
I think I own the idea.
It's quite amazing, actually. The difference from being on the bridge and on there is there. It's quite different. It's probably helpful.
Good one.
They're cold.
Susan. Well, you were fantastic.
Oh, it was fun.
What a dive. That was great.
Is that enough? Oh, that was great. I'd do it again. What happened is I looked, and then I told him, I says, I gotta go. I says, I'm really dizzy. I felt really sick. Did that girl go yet?
So was it good?
It was great.
Made it back to the hotel. It's snowing up in the mountains, and can you believe now Susan is sort of recovered, and she says now she wants to do it again, and she wants to do it backwards, and she wants to go in the water. Can you believe she would be that crazy? Well, it is February 23rd, and the time for our adventure to begin. Destination, Australia. And these two little islands down here of New Zealand. Doors, we're getting ready to leave here. So we'll be going from this nice warm weather here to the nice, really warm weather.
You need to get over there. Put on my eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take a look around here. No, we need you in there.
Loud. I don't even know how to do it.
Okay, now we're looking at the menu, which is going to include appetizers and aperitifs and some quail from a chef from Sydney, I guess, some beef and some chicken, and then there will be a brunch with scrambled eggs with lobster. There will also be snacks during the movies. There will be 3 movies, so we ought to have an enjoyable.
Scallops, teriyaki, veggie, and salmon.
I'll try it.
So we have teriyaki beef, a pate of some sort, and a scallop. Well, now the table is properly set for dinner. This is right after our hot hors d'oeuvres.
Do you want me to move it out?
No, now we're at the salad stage. Well, now time for the entree, which in this case is steak, potatoes, and some vegetables neatly arranged. Oh, Susan's having a hot such fun day.
What would you like that?
Whipped cream and fresh.
Oh, here comes the hot fudge.
Yeah, everything. No strawberries. We already know.
Almost having a super duper. Super duper is with strawberries too.
Man, she's gonna stop. Susan's gonna do everything.
I'll try it. We'll share it.
Oh, here's the finished product. Zoom in on that baby. Ooh. She's still alive after all those hours. Well, now you can even see that it is Sydney time, 6:37 in the morning. So everybody is now getting away. Well, we're now approaching the coast here, coming in from the north, heading south. Just did it. Welcome to Sydney. And there's a luggage rack. Someplace down here. Should be a Susan. Yeah, I think I see her there. Okay, well, we finally got here. We are at our hotel here at the Wynyard Travelodge. It is 9:30 and they don't... Our room isn't quite ready, so Susan's off going for a walk. Want you all to notice. She has... Now we have walked about 4 blocks from our hotel. We're now at the what's called the Circular Quay. Now we're on our first little city tour. And there's the Sydney Opera House.
Takes approximately 20 minutes.
Small harbor.
Slightly closer look at opportunities at Garden Island. Time to join the Navy.
This jet cat here from Sydney Harbor to a little place called Manly, where there is a beach on the other side of where I'm standing. Across the road, I guess, so we just arrived here. Took about 15 minutes. This is the entrance from the wharf going toward the island or toward the beach or whatever. After walking about 3 blocks across the stretch of land between the bayside where we were, we're now onto the ocean side and the beach. Yeah.
Four or 5 weeks at a time,
After walking the beach, we gotta go down here and see if we can get a cold drink to cool off. unofficial entrance to the harbor, the Opera House, which is designed to look like sails from a ship. And as we come around the Opera House to the right, this is the ferry harbor now called the Circular Quay, which is where all the activities are. Well, it's next morning and the ferry's going out, and behind the ferry we can see the Queen Elizabeth II. She docked last night or early this morning, I understand. She is on a round trip, around the world trip, and stops in Sydney as one of the ports of call, and this happens. Well, we're now on a ferry heading up the river for a 2.5-hour cruise, just leaving the Circular Quay. Past this thing is absolutely huge. I think it might even be bigger than the Queen Mary. Submarines are in.
He took off from there for his historical air flight to England, and it's such a short parking fee because it will cost you $2,000 a year. That makes my RSL one at $10 a year look a bit seated. And now, as we approach Admiralty House.
This is part of the harbor called the Rocks area. Sort of touristy. But behind these little restaurants here is the old quarter of Australia that was initially settled. In the old quarter, oh, there's Susan. There are shops and restaurants and all kinds of good things.
After walking all day, we decided to stop and
dinner is going to be served.
Here we are once again, but this time drinking the local wine. Getting ready to have dinner on the wharf or the harbor. And in our background, once again, is the QE2.
Some of the crew of the Royal Britannia, and they told us that on that ship, whenever the Queen and the Duke or any of the royal party are in earshot of the officers of Navy, we used to bring in here the Matson liners, and these liners. Yes, you hear that? Okay, well.
Day 3, and we go to the zoo, and we see what's going on at the zoo today. What is going on at the zoo? Adults, $13.50.
Look at that. Some visitors from America to see them.
What are their names?
Oh
gosh.
They are the cutest.
Frickin' frack.
As you can see, they're built like a little tent, and they're very heavy to go when they're
These
full
little
of
wombats.
So about 40 kilos, so they're quite heavy, and they have a pouch, and it's a backward opening. Mammal, of course, because it's off fur, but it belongs to. Here's a cute picture of them.
I don't know if you can see this little quokka. Oh, there he is. There he is, fighting in the ferns. Okay, swamp wallaby. We'll just go right over here. And someplace is a swamp wallaby. Oh, there he is.
Come on, get up.
Oh, he's taking a nap here.
Oh, he's getting up. He's standing up.
Now this is a kangaroo. From what we understand, the quokka is a small, a wallaby is a large, and a kangaroo or a wallaby is a medium, and a kangaroo is a large. So here are some of the species.
No, because she can be a very clever lady. She can mate and fall pregnant, and she can stop it too. If there's drought or anything like that. Oh.
Kookaburra. There's that little quokka wallaby. As you see this camel going by here, you can see that the zoo is situated on top of this hill with just a magnificent view of the Sydney Harbour. Some famous pubs in Australia, which we're going to go and have dinner and see a show at here shortly.
And actually, it did a U-turn. It gets worse. And I went all the way back to the flock singing, I'll never find another you.
Out on the bones, the old shearer stands, Christ make his shears, and his thin body hands. Makes this his gets, and a bird on it yo, glory of the gets him out, the ring of
In the old days of shearing, the clipping used to be done with scissors or with hand shears. But it was here in Australia, back in the 1870s, that a man called Frederick Wolseley developed the first mechanical shearing machine.
I tell them right away, what do we say? We say, give me a home among the gum trees, with lots of long trees. A sheep or two and a kangaroo will close one out the back, the reindeer out the front, and an old rocking chair. Then as night fell, they heard quite near an old man emu calling to his mates. Tired and lonely, the boy curled up to sleep at the foot of an old gum tree. As he closed his eyes, he heard the sentinel of the night owl or mopoke.
Well, it is now Sunday morning, and we are at Shannon Park, which is not really a park at all, but we are on a little day trip on a four-wheel vehicle like this. That's our driver sitting there. And as I pan around here, we are stopping at his home for tea and cookies. They have a little house and little pool, and that must be the local folks over there.
I want to take a picture of you.
A quick shot of their backyard.
Bay, just to the south of Sydney, that's the airport which you flew into, and to the north is Broken Bay, which is the outfall of the Hawkesbury River. You can track the Hawkesbury River back in sort of an arc around Sydney, and it has its beginnings up in the Blue Mountains. Now, on the way out, I was talking about two roads over the Blue Mountains. One is the Great Western Highway, which was the original government road, and there's a little string of villages along there, and those villages are taken together and treated as one unit for local administrative purposes, so it becomes the city of the Blue Mountains as such. There's enough people in all of those villages to constitute one city, administered from Katoomba. On the other side of the canyons, all down the middle of here is rather severe erosion, which has turned into some decent looking rock faces. On the northern side is that Bell's line of road, the road that was tracked by the young man about 10 years after this one was done. So you've got two very distinct sides to your Blue Mountains.
So we're now going to tailgate.
That is the salt and pepper. Let us commence.
Now up in the middle of the Blue Mountains, and I don't know if we'll be able to see this on the tape, but there is sort of a bluish haze, which is where the name came from. That blue haze is due to the eucalyptus oils, which are constantly being given off and evaporating and become part of the atmosphere. Well, we're on this train that's going, well, right now we're going up. Well, this was quite a ride. That's a little rock formation called the Three Sisters.
I wouldn't do it though, would you?
And see that it's also
Off the bungy? Oh.
a little way down.
I think I'm moving out.
No worries, this one is good. It hasn't broken off for nearly 2 years. It's fine.
So this is like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. You can see it. You can see the bottom.
That railroad that we were just on started right up here and went straight down through these rocks and came out right there. Now we have now arrived at Melbourne. Checked in at our Hotel Centra, which is just off of downtown on some river here. A little view of the city. Now this is more European, as the center of things seems to focus around the train station with lots of people and a lot of activity. There's a stranger. That noise is the crosswalk. Well, this is now starting to rain. This is like the Performing Arts Center. Vegetable market. Nice looking corn. Nice looking vegetables. Well, we're at the main downtown shopping district, and the big store, department store here is Meijer, and it's about 2 blocks long, they say, so it's pretty huge. Hello, Susan. Turn it down to pink. If it were daylight, this is probably what we would have seen. They come out of the ocean, walk across the beach, and then they get to this little high ground that they have to climb up. And they actually climb up there, and they were everywhere. There are thousands of them hiding in these weeds.
There you go. 3 backwards and 1 forward, and it's brewed.
That was brewing the tea.
Okay, now.
We're gonna have Billy tea. That was actually brewing the tea in that little Billy, which is.
Oh, there goes one. Come on, bring your friends.
Well, it's now some morning. We're now at the little train station going to take a train called the Puffing Billy up in the Dandenong Mountains. So here we go on the Puffing Billy.
Here, Maddie, right here. Maddie, right here. Wide open. Get it? Hey, spot down, baby.
There's your kookaburra. Oh, hi, guy.
Oh.
Some pretty good sized cranes here.
Oh, there you go. Take that right, Ducker. That's good, good.
Roses and grapevines, similar climatic conditions.
Vineyard. Here is Susan in our little twinette rail car, and just to give you a quickie view here, this is the lower berth, and then if we go up this way, whoop, whoop, see that little handle there? Oh, here comes the upper bunk. Don't know how to work it though. View of the bathroom. Here comes the sink. And should you care to go to the toilet, it is quite similar, we guess. Oh yes, here comes the toilet. Shower facilities are also in that same room, much like it was on our little boat. Oh, there's Susan in our little car over here. Now we're into the first class seating car, so we have also the option of sitting here, and they will be showing movies tonight, or a movie shining through with nice summer's ready to board on the Ghan train, which is named after the Afghan camel train. It's quite a long train. Has a casino, a couple of restaurants. Each car is named. This is Matilda's restaurant, obviously. And we just boarded. It's our front door. We have sort of a similar situation here. Susan trying to stow the luggage.
Doesn't fit.
That's the upper berth, and this turns into the lower berth. Have a complimentary something there. Have a little water bar. Well, there's a Susan. This is in one of the lounge cars here. This is one of the bars. Well, we are underway. Hold it. Oh. Wait, fold it there. He won two somehow. I don't know exactly how, but he did.
1, 2.
We are now in the lounge car. Well, we're now closer to Alice Springs, but now it's really, really flat out here, and now there are no bushes, there's nothing out here. From Aboriginal folks here, if I can zero in on them. We just now checked into the Desert Rose Hotel. So we have a really nice room with a little kitchenette. Well, we're making a stop here at Rickey. I see some Aboriginal women doing some kind of cleaning. Rickey, and that is Alec.
And it's called Billy Tea. The old bushman years ago was too lazy or wouldn't learn to say bully in French. The French used to send us bully beef in tins, big jam tins, or huge tins, big. Oh, that's fairly hot. Yeah. All I'll do is just. They tell me it is, so. I'll just get these outside pieces off because this. Now this is.
So we made the bread that we're eating, and this little fire in that little oven sitting right there.
You can see I broke that, and this is just either kangaroo gut or part of the bark inside of a bark, the string. Or any of those shoots, it'll go straight through, you know, and it'll hit the tree and stick in it, you know, fair way. So that's all you do. You aim it like that, and you just pull it back, make it look groovy, and actually grip it easier. But it's just a fancy way and follow the grain. That's what make it look good. Hey, see what you catch it this time.
Oh, so you don't throw it up in the air, you just throw it straight. Great.
There you are.
That's
it. And back, bend your arm, let it go. There you are. That's a good throw. Just not enough spin, that's all.
All right, Susan, give her a try here.
So I just throw back and go like this?
Yeah, that's it. Hard as you can.
Whoops!
Now you've got to make sure it spins. See, like you can flick it like that. See that? Yeah.
I think one needs a bit of muscle power.
Okay, give her a flick. I don't know if you can be able to see all of these stars, but it's about 5:30 in the morning. There's just millions of stars out here, and we're off on a.
All the other balloons doing just then, so we want to take a photograph, anything like that. Quite spoken photograph. Okay. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Now we're still blowing up these balloons with cold air right now. Cool. There is a second balloon And behind that is a third.
Ian, you would
So
look at my torch and
smooth.
my compass.
The sunrise coming up pretty soon.
Which got 7.
This rail track is the track that we came on the GAN train going somewhere. Well, we have just landed and here comes our balloon. Well, after that great time, we're now having a little bit of champagne and some, looks like we're going to have a little breakfast here. Well, we all know that this is Ayers Rock. Now it is known as Uluru. It is getting ready to go on our climb up the rock. Just so you can appreciate, so you can appreciate this, we'll start up here. Here are some folks beginning, and there are some folks there, and then you'll see a chain fence here. That's to help you up toward the top. There it goes up there, and you'll see way at the top here some people, and they say that as you get up over that rise, you're about a third of the way. Okay, Susan's beginning her climb now. She said that's as far as she can go here. Well, it's Sunday morning. We're still at Ayers Rock, or Uluru. Only today we're going to the Olgas, which is another rock formation. Our really lush this time of the year. Well, we're getting ready to go for a walk here. You got to get your own little canteen, fill it up with some water, and we're going to go out just up in through there for about a 2-hour walk. Is she ready? Why don't you turn forward, give us a little view of the front.
Broken rule number 1 already. Come in a little bit, guys, so you can see the sign, please. 6:45. Okay. 6:45. So from here we go along to the first lookout. If you look up here in the distance, we've got Mount Gee on the right, and on the left there's a smaller dome. Just in between the two on the horizon there is the first lookout. Now for anyone, we continue on down the hill and we cross over a bridge. Very similar to this one. when you go across the bridge, if you're not with the main group for whatever reason, you turn right. There's a T intersection just after it. That's where
Go
you
walking down now through this little ravine or something here. Well, we are down finally into the shade here. We've gone probably 2 miles and we're maybe halfway, they say. So what we're gonna do is head on back. Too darn hot. Well, we're now finished with our walk, thank God. Coming on towards sunset. It is sort of pretty. And let me just whiz over here a little bit. Oh, they're out working here, getting the bar set up. And there's our cook. A few bottles of champagne. Well, the sunset today is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the moon over the rocks. Now here's Sue doing the barbecue. Oh, this looks excellent. This looks excellent.
And Sue or I will serve you some steak and sausage and onions. And of course there's plenty of champagne to enjoy, so you can take the tea over or you can say, hey Dale, my hand.
Well, this is another day. This is a travel day. We are getting ready here to leave the desert. As you can see, here comes our plane. And we'll be heading to Cairns, which is on the east coast, and instead of being dry and hot, we're going to go to a tropical. So, well, it's now Tuesday morning, March 9th. You can see quite a change in terrain as to where we are. Very tropical here. This is the Travelodge Palm Cove. 10 swimming pools, 18-hole golf course, you name it. This is the entryway. That's the little path to hole 14. Coming across the road. And if you can hear the birds, they sort of stop now. Just a quick shot of our room, which really isn't very important.
Huh?
More important is that we have a pretty nice location. Just standing inside our room looking out, this is the view. So we're now getting ready to go out, use the pool, maybe have a beer. Here is Susan.
Okay, that's enough.
This is from the back side of the pool, or the front side, whichever you want. Our room is right there behind that umbrella, ground floor. Looking around this way. Now Wednesday morning, and we are at the beach. This would actually be the hotel beach. and we are going out on this pier to catch a boat to go out to the outer barrier reef. It will take us to Port Douglas, where we'll board another boat like this, and then I think we go about 20 miles out to the reef, I hope. And back there, where you can see the waves crashing, is where the reef begins. And there are some little boats or vessels there that you can go on, and they have like glass bottoms, so you can go view the coral in a glass bottom boat. Our boat has tied up to a big pontoon, and kill yourself from this pontoon. You can go snorkeling and all kinds of things. They even have a helicopter pad someplace. You can take a helicopter up. You can do all kinds of crap out here. So we're going to be out here for about 3 hours. Oh, there they are, out snorkeling.
There's Jim. Wait. Now go under. He looks like he's having a good time. Who knows what he sees down there? Oh, there he goes.
Now, new morning. This is Thursday morning, and we're at a small railroad station, and this railroad will head up into the rainforest. So we're going to spend the day up in the rainforest somewhere. Found some bananas. Just happen to be sitting here right on that platform. Well, and there's our little stranger with her bag. That's the little luggage cart.
Give us a view from this part of the line. If you look out for the travelling on the colours to range. To keep these gardens in order.
Ready to go back. The train is, not us.
Okay.
Different root system on this tree, and our little guide man says this is what the Aborigines used to make boomerangs from. They would just take a slice out of there and cut it right down the middle, and you would have the curved side and the flat. Oh, that's a vine. That's Jane, like Tarzan. There's a big vine. And on that previous picture, that thing curling around a tree, that was a huge vine. Quite jungly, even by the train station here.
Also in the rainforest, in the land of the Jabbagai, lives Gaja, the hairy man, the quinton devil spirit. The Aborigines fear the quinton.
Aboriginal before, well, you're looking at us. Anyway, I like to explain how we culturally dress. Yeah, it was a headband made from crocodile skin. You can decorate it with emu feathers, parrot feathers, also shells and bones. And that was a lap lap. In Gabbagai language, we say Jariga, Gambi, and that was a belt. You can either use grass, weed, vine, but mainly human hair. And that was a totem. My totem represents lightning and rain. In the Jabbagai language, we say Bana Jumban. It can represent the animal, the weather, nature itself. As you can see, the rest of the dancers, they have their different totem. Snake, Jama, Madra, drum.
Fish, Koyu, Possum, Gaira, Casper, Banana, Thunderstorm, Jaraway, Kangaroo, Durban, Kookaburra, Burunga, Running Water, Banawu, Freshwater Turtle, Bajiga.
So, where do we get our paint from? Well, we use crushed rocks, clay, ochre from the earth, whichever color we prefer. It's also good for camouflage in the rainforest. You have the animal, he can't see you, you're well hidden.
The Aboriginal wind instrument. In the Aboriginal word for didgeridoo, well, we just say didgeridoo. Well, how to make a didgeridoo? You go to the bush, you can select many different kinds of trees like malleewood, wandu, river gum, coolabah. This one here is made out of white gum. It's pretty light. And once I've selected your tree, you knock onto it, you listen for the sound, then you cut into it. And you'll find out your tree is hollow. It's a hollow because the wild ants have eaten inside out. Thus they're naturally in the bush. Then it's up to you to get a long piece of stick, scrape it from one end to the other, clean it all inside, waste out. Can't get in the middle of it because of the shade, or try to burn it out. Plug it up with hot coal. And if you still can't get it out, well, that's just too bad. Get another one. People ask me questions, and the first question they ask me is why do they call this thing the didgeridoo? Answer to know why? Listen to the sound. Just imagine a large kangaroo hopping down the road. song, one of the best in the rap, this one. PVC part.
A land of meadows, free to wander, 50,000 years in the spirit of dreamtime. 10 years to come, that'll make you wonder. 10 years to come, that'll make you wonder. Who's going to rock the down? A land that no one knows. He's got back up and down, the white man came and pulled it down. White man came and pulled it down. Something we can't understand. Black and white have got to unite, or there'll be nothing left in the land down under. Nothing left in the land down under. Hurrah! Like a farmer, Murray. Learn from you, we learn from us. We can't afford another blunder. Together we can live in harmony. We are brothers in the land down under. We are brothers in the land down under. Hey, up us up, guns to the pockets. Now we be, every Johnny, never die. No more, die, take it up. Now we be, every Johnny, never die. There we go, die.
Saturday morning. We're in a little group four-wheel drive vehicle out in the middle of the rainforest. Alright, we're at this waterfall here. Paul Hogan from Crocodile Dundee jumped down from the top of that way down into the pool here for some commercial.
Hey!
We stopped off at this little river. Gonna have a little coffee and tea. That's what they were doing on top of the vehicle there, collecting all those goodies. Following that, we will hop on this little boat and take an hour or so trip down.
And I counted, yesterday I counted 10 babies.
Wow. Baby crocodile. Mom is what, 7 foot?
Mum is 7 foot and probably about 11 years old. This is her first season. So she's probably only laid a dozen or so eggs, I'd say. Maybe 20 at the most.
Good eyes.
And you can see the female.
Oh, Jim's taking pictures on this.
You want a picture of that, mate? Actually, so do I.
Well, this morning is election day, so our driver, Gary, is off to vote. It's okay, I can see. Getting his ballots. We're in the land of the palm, or fan palms. We're going on a walkies. Jungle.
But they're all died out over there.
Coming for our lunch break now. Sort of on to the beach. And someplace down here we're gonna meet our friendly guide and have some lunch.
And they're succulent. They're very nice. Now, the corn is also here for you.
Great.
So go for it.
We're now on a mangrove stem. These are trees that live in both salt and fresh water. As the tide comes in, this gets to be salt water, and currently now at low tide would be.
They'll keep bouncing and bouncing until they run out of other rocks.
The Mossman Gorge area, what you hear is this little creek. And this is looking down the creek. As we walk into this gorge, come to a neat little swimming hole. Right in the middle of the rainforest.
Yeah, I'm going first.
Well, Sunday morning, we're now getting ready to board an Ansett flight down to Brisbane, then on to Melbourne, where we'll catch a Qantas flight to New Zealand. So it's goodbye Australia, and after a full day of traveling on Sunday, we finally made it to Christchurch, and while the picture shows skiers there is no snow, but it's certainly a heck of a lot cooler here than in Australia. So it is now Monday morning. We have just picked up our rental car and are about to spend about 18 days. Well, short walk, and we are at the Botanical Gardens. We didn't see too many flowers in Australia, but all of a sudden here we're seeing a pile of them. Christchurch certainly reminds you of being in England. All the names are sort of English. You got the Avon River, you got Gloucester Street, Worcester Street, and this is just taking a look down one of the streets toward downtown or toward the city center. See here, this church again looks very Gothic or English in architecture. Another view on of the Avon, just about a half a block from the city center. Say that again.
Here we go. Hi, folks. Oh, look at the fog or the haze. It reveals.
So from the top, down below is a seaport village of Littleton. This is the major seaport on the South Island. And if we continue to go that way, I think maybe just in the left part of the frame on top you can see the ocean. There's the way we came up. And if you look out there, there is the city of Christchurch. And Susan has some buffalo chips. We're now down at that little harbor from what we could see from up above. We're going to go down in one of these little boats and take a little cruise around the harbor and into the ocean, I guess. Japanese squid boat. They use those orange arms to lower down and somehow collect squid. Part of the town of Littleton. The pleasure boating docks. The ducks having a good time. They come right down the river. Yeah, the Avon here and swim around. It's a little boat here. And we're thinking about maybe going punting on the Avon. If we do that, we'll take one of these boats and have a little guy pour us down, or push us down, I guess. Oh, here comes a punter. Oh, a punting we will go.
Oh God, I'm choking myself.
A punting we will go. I ho the dairy-o, a punting we will go.
You want to take a picture of that? This goes pretty fast.
Whee!
Here, Jim, remember your 5-minute.
There's the front. Looks like one of those things in the summertime. It's Tuesday morning and we're driving from Christchurch south to a town called Dunedin. It is now lunchtime, and so we stopped at Oamaru here, which is about halfway to Dunedin along the east coast. Nice little town. As you can see, a little overcast today. Just pulled over to the side. We're leaving the ocean, just heading a little bit inland. The sun has now come out, so I thought this would be a good time to just get a view of the countryside here. We're looking west away from the ocean. You can see the mountains in the background. To those animals, and they sound like cows, but they certainly don't look like cows.
Oh, funny.
Our obligatory sheep picture out of the way. Turn around. This is just behind that chicken. Lots of sheep. Just a little bit south of where we were, going toward Dunedin, maybe a couple miles, come to an area called the Rocks. A lot of people come here to visit. Frankly, I'm not sure that this was that great. We finally made it to Dunedin about 3:30. just late enough so that there are no hotel rooms available. So instead they sent us up here to look for something. So we're driving up this hill, so this is a nice view. Thought we'd just take it in a little bit. So we finally made it to our lodging up on top of the hills here. And this is Larnock Castle. And so this was what we could come up. Well, we're now in back of the castle. And the rooms, this is the old stable. And there's Susan there. And so we have to go in through the doorway. Okay, we're following you.
Let's go, James.
There's your basic room. Well, let's see what happens if we, oops, let's look this way, down, 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 down. Little table. We'll go over by the window and see if there's anything to see. Why don't you open that window? Let's go this
That's
way.
as far as it goes. Oh, I have to unhook it down here. Want me to pull it in?
Oh, not a bad view. City down below. Go ahead. As we're leaving the castle, we're just now on the other side of the water. There's some sheepies. Hi guys. But there's another one.
Here we go, driving 120 kilometers.
This is a nice view.
Bear with me, Jim's going around a curve here. Look at.
Oh, now we're actually in our first day of rain in over 3 weeks of traveling. So this is for all the rain, we finally arrived at Teanau. That was our hotel, but as you look across the street, we are now at the what they call the Fjordlands. So all these mountains, some of which are snow-capped and have glaciers, and with all these little fjords. This location is sort of a jumping off point to go do some tours to Milford Sound and Doubtful Sound. So I think we'll be doing both those things over the next couple days, using this as home base. Well, this morning we are traveling through the Fjordland National Park on our way to Milford Sound. The mountains and the clouds and scenery is just spectacular. Looking at a reflection through this still part of a creek. In reflection, you can even see a little bit of the snow that's stuck in the crevices. We just came out of this tunnel into this huge canyon. I'm looking straight up there. That's a long way up. Just pan around this way. And down.
I dare say some of you are wondering about that.
I don't know, there are a whole lot. There's that one, and there's that one with the
We're approaching a waterfall here out in the rainforest before the sound. Well, we're just leaving on a cruise of the Sound on a sailing vessel.
High winds, a rock or a climber might dislodge from the top of the mountain, come tumbling.
Fishing vessel coming back. Sitting up on the rock here.
I think they'd be laying in the sun instead of the shade, wouldn't you? Yesterday we went to Doubtful Sound and dolphins came around. There must have been 15.
quite light colored too. There's one black one up there.
Look at that one guy just laying there. Well, leave me alone.
They're waving at us here.
Doing a little show.
Hi guys.
Captain, don't get too close here now. We've all seen a seal before.
Looks like such a struggle. Look at that big one in the back there.
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Aw, look at him.
Scratch here.
All these southern purseals, folks, they have a problem with the sand flies also, the sand flies off them. They'll probably come out to meet us.
Oh, they're coming.
We'll wait for
Hey.
Like they know you're watching. Oh, yeah. Oh,
the Milford Sound Lodge. We had thought about staying there, but then decided not to because it would take us an extra day. But creek. How is it good? The water is absolutely crystal clear. So if we can look over here, we can see that it's very blue. Follow the river down. No matter where you look, the scenery is just more gorgeous, it seems. Here we are out in the middle of this rainforest.
It's wet? Okay.
Getting ready to leave on our boat to Doubtful Sound. Just underway.
Okay. One person by the name of Smith who has ordered lunch. If you'd like to just take your voucher down to the boys down the back, they can give you your dinner. It's a long hungry day without it. Now, as we head out onto the lake, take a look across to our left. You can see a pinnacle of rock over there. There's sort of a mini mountain halfway between the lake shore.
Now on the bus or the coach, just coming to Doubtful Sound, which is down below. Head down here and take a boat and cruise along. So now we're cruising down through Doubtful Sound. Coming to a calm spot, see the reflections of the...
Now this part of.
Gorgeous reflection. Another waterfall. There's our return port. Someplace over here. Missed it. Oh, there's the road up to the pass. So we're heading back.
Have to see another good view.
Watch out!
Well, we made it to Queenstown. Staying at the Park Royal. Looks like we have a... Just checking in here. Looks like we have an excellent place. Yeah, it is really gorgeous out here too. One of the things we want to do while we're here is ride on the TSS Earnslaw, which you can see way in the distance there. It's one of the few steam-powered...
Masses does occur when you get an overpopulation. That happens anywhere.
We're on a tour bus in Queenstown today, going out to Arrowtown.
And it was against the law when it first started, but the government relaxed its conditions. And today we have 1 3/4 million where they were poisoned or shot.
Besides sheep, they also raise a lot of deer.
So now the government is considering it.
Well, this is where it all began. So here we have a bridge. And there is where they jump from. And they go down, 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 down to there. Oh, there is a brave soul. This gal getting ready to jump.
Watch the water.
Bungee jump number 2 for this gal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now here comes the TSS Earnslaw returning from its journey. The turning here shortly and pulling up to the dock right there, where we'll border and take it across the lake, and we're going to go visit a farm. Makes it look easy. Pulled away from the pier. Across the street is our hotel. Our room is right there, top left. Alright, we're putting out a little bit. Not in the engine room, they're running at 150 pound pressure. So the coal soakers. Shovel and coal into the burners here. House. You can see the bow of the boat. Susan enjoying herself. We're now coming to the Walters farm and do sheep shearing, have tea, and show you how.
Sit there! Sit, Jim! Sit, Jim! Sit! Sit, Jim! Sit!
And you see he's telling the dogs what to do.
Sit, Jim!
Bringing these Scottish.
Look how they just stop. Sit there, Jim!
These are good looking guys.
Sit, Jim! Sit!
Old Jim don't want to sit.
Walk up, Jim.
So that must be Jim over here.
Sit, Jim.
He's listening now. Jeremy tells him what to do here. Oh, grabbed him by the tail. Ooh, this guy looks...
That they use for dairying. Dairy farming in New
He's
Zealand
a
is actually the most
Scottish.
profitable type of hay. This stage
Yeah.
of calves on their mothers are around
Okay.
about 6.5, 7 months old. And when we bring them down there, they what you call wean the calf.
On the farms, they not only grow the sheep and the Scottish Highland bulls and regular beef cattle, dairy cattle, but they also have deer and, I guess, deer or whatever, antelope. And they grow these not only for the meat, but for the horns and the little fur that grows up on the horns, and they sell that particularly to the Chinese and Japanese as an aphrodisiac and a powerful healing medicine. Straight the dogs and the sheep over
She'll
here.
cast out, get them behind them and pull them down quietly for us.
Jim! Keep out! Jim! Jim! Keep out! Jim! Keep out! Walk up! Walk up! Walk up! Walk up, Jim! Jim! Jim!
The dog will wait till they're all in a mob and then she'll put more pressure on them.
Jim! Walk up, Jim! 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 Keep out! Keep out, Jim! Good girl, walk up there!
It's gonna round them all up somehow.
Walk up, Jim!
Okay, coming from the back. Drawing them all out. Oh, here they come. Apparently this dog works with commands and the other one he can do noiseless.
Walk up! Sit!
Now if that dog had missed any sheep in the paddock, I've got a command, I just tell him look about. You watch what I tell the little dog to look about.
Look about!
He tells him to look about and he's going to look to see if there's anything left over.
Walk up here!
We've just got a mixed bunch of sheep here and a few goats here. But you'd be lucky if you get half a kilo of cashmere off those goats. It's very fine one, it's not the long street.
Well, we took the gondola car up. Now we'll look back on Queenstown. Oh, a couple parasailers or whatever they are. Well, looks like that's the hotel there. There's a parasailer or something coming down.
Looks low actually, but I suppose it's just deceiving, isn't it? It looks very low from up here. It looks very low.
And land on the building.
They pull cords and things, don't they? The experience. I said to Joe, but they were saying we lost someone.
Look out, it's a lake.
Should we or shouldn't we, Jim? It's our last chance.
Not me. Well, we're back at the bungee jump. See what's happening here today. Taking a look at the Shotover River, and there is the jumping bridge, and there's where all the crazy people gather to go jump. Signing their life away here. You believe this?
Speak American. I don't bite.
Fly gear on, haven't you? Fly gear on. Fly gear. You're dressed up, rugged up, ready to go, rock and roll. See, it's warmed up a bit.
Okay.
She wants to stay. It's not good to look down, I'll tell you. You couldn't get in line quick enough. Go about 1 second into it. Oh, your whole body's yeah. Just about there, you start.
That was a time scream.
You don't know where you are when you've done your second.
Did you like it that far?
She liked it.
It's okay,
Oh, look, wow, she really liked that.
I didn't know where I was. Was I waving at you at the wrong time?
I think I own the idea.
It's quite amazing actually. The difference from being on the bridge and the edge there is quite different. It's probably helpful.
No experience. Just take some pictures. We're off here.
Well, we're going to stop too, so.
Did a 360 there. Are we getting close or what? Where's that towel? Here comes an opposing boat here. All right.
Oh well.
right, he didn't tell us. He didn't tell us. Well, we have just completed our trip. You can see they get pretty darn close. All right, here they come. Whoa!
Where they stop?
Well, they went around. They did a spin. Again.
On action, Matt?
Oh, after that we have to go inside. It was just snowing here. Gotta get warmed up.
One was jumping.
Well, we're on a major highway here. Got
Traffic jam
here by a bunch of sheepies.
As you can see, there's thousands of them. Oops, see the guy? It's now Monday morning and we're on our way from Queenstown to Fox Glacier, where we hope to take a helicopter ride to Mount Cook.
Well, we got sort of slowed down here. Look up here, all of a sudden, they're going along good. Road's closed. And there's always somebody enterprising, so somebody set up a little tent, selling coffee and cakes and tea. I think we'll partake.
Time for a coffee break.
Radio.
There's a little unique water kettle. You have water around, there's a hole that steam is coming out, and she just puts wood down in there, and that feeds the fire and heats it from the inside, and the water's around the jacket on the outside, sort of like a boiler. Oh, we're told this is just a construction delay and that it will open again. Road will open at 11 o'clock for a few minutes, let all these cars through, and then they'll close it again. We're going through what they call the Southern Alps, through that Hast Pass. We got to the western side of the mountains, and we're traveling north up this direction to Franz Josef. So we're about halfway up the west coast at this point. Quite different here, a lot more rain because the clouds drop to rain before they go over the mountains. More tropical, the water is really bluish green, gorgeous.
Here we go, another one-lane bridge. Yes.
First glimpse of Mount Cook. Well, we're getting ready to go on this helicopter. little bit cloudy. Yeah, we're blessed with another fine day. It's Tuesday morning, and we're taking a little walk to the Franz Josef Glacier, which is right there. Yesterday we were at a different glacier on the helicopter. We thought we'd walk over to this one. Susan forgot to take her shower this morning, so she's going over here to see if she can catch a few. Well, we've been walking about 20 minutes. That glacier didn't look too far away, but it's still a little ways. Another 10 minutes, we're getting closer here. We got probably 15-20 minutes to go to get to this dumb glacier.
You can make it, Jim.
One lane traffic here. Here comes the tramper. There's where we came from, way down there. Well, I think this is it. This is as far as we can go. See the characterization of glaciers, that bluish green tinge to the ice. Quick look back. Where we came from. About an hour's walk. Well, Susan, you made it up there.
Barely.
Now,
Breathing hard.
now the difficult part is going to be to figure out how we get off of this rock here. Because it was a climb. Well, persistence has paid off. Susan is right at the glacier. This is a very precarious and frankly dangerous place to be. And there's a big boulder sitting right there, getting ready to fall down. And should it do that, could mean trouble. You can hear things creaking and falling. And come on, Susan. Well, after our hike, we stopped for a picnic on the way going north. Nice little lake that we found here, a little picnic table. Not much going on. Out of Picton and the top of the South Island, so we'll be crossing over to the North Island tomorrow morning. So this scenery is a good finish for our South Island adventure. And there is that ferry, and that's heading over to Picton. There's the little harbor. And this is where we'll catch our ferry out in the morning. believe that might be our hotel right there. Here comes our ferry. She's just turning around. And we'll go out that way. There are several restaurants, a movie theater, a gambling casino, lots of good things on here. Well, we're standing on the aft part of the boat, and on here they can put 129 cars and trucks, and they just wheeled on.
Good morning to passengers.
They wheeled on 60 railroad
On
cars.
behalf of the Employment Line, I'd like to welcome you on board the Aerohero for this afternoon's crossing to Wellington. All services on.
Now we're pulling away. Final view of Picton. Looks like we made it to Wellington after a sunny, warm morning. It turned out to be overcast. Rained most of the way on the 3-hour cruise over. Now they're offloading now. And they got all these big trucks. Amazing. Like down below now there's a train that'll be coming to pick up those 60 cars. At least once during our trip we have to make a stop at McDonald's just to know we're at, so we can feel at home. So we stopped here for a quickie lunch on our way to Rotorua, and they have an old DC-3 that they converted to seating for the kids. It's really neat. Now that's a Kiwi and a half. Well, another gondola ride. This time to get a overview of Rotorua. There's the lake. And Rotorua has all these volcanic thermal eruptions and geysers everywhere.
Oh, I missed it.
And the next big.
Good shot.
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to do, aim from like that. At the end we did okay. Okay, we're going to try to do a little luging here. So first we're going to go on the learner's track. Okay, Susan, give it a go.
I like it going.
Push full or push pull. Alright, there she goes. Well, we made it down the luge successfully. I tell you, that is a little more tricky than it looks. Trying again here. Okay, here you go.
Can't leave, I'll lose control.
There she goes. Oh, there goes somebody passing. Oh, she must have made it. Where the hot thermal mud springs or whatever from the lava from underneath. And then back here which is right back of our hotel. They're cooking the food for the traditional bungy feast. So all the meat and potatoes and things are being steamed in here. That'll be coming out shortly. Smells great.
Our steamed bungy. Now basically it is the same principle of steaming food in a pot of hot water on the stove at home. The only difference is we have the steam coming straight out of the ground here. You'll see here also that the sides are built up, that's for safety, so that you know there's something there, you won't walk into it. The timber planks here and the damp sacks, as you can also see, laid across the top to form the lid. At the base of the pit we have small rocks, or else you can once again have timber slats on wood. The food before it goes in is also wrapped, so it's a very clean environment when it is being cooked. Foil can be used, cheesecloth or muslin, which is these little bags here. We also, our people would use cabbage leaves or other such large vegetable leaves originally. In the very early days they also had the flaxen baskets.
Stopping at one of the thermal valleys, lake, and that water is actually hot. Drying of the water in the rock here. Well, here you can see some water boiling here, making tea. He said sometimes backpackers can lay on the ground here because the ground is really warm and stay warm at night. Get up in the morning and they can take an egg and put it in here and boil your egg and cook sweet corn as well, just by putting it in there and let it cook. Okay, we're at some hot springs or hot pools. There are 6 different pools at 6 different temperatures. I think the hottest is this one right here at 42 degrees, which is about 108 or something. I think they said 106, 108 degrees Fahrenheit.
There's Jim going for a hot bath. I don't know if you can tell, but Jim is really red from his armpit.
Well, we determined that 42 degrees is 107.6 degrees our temperature. So that's this pool here. This is the hottest of the bunch, of the lot, as they say. A few little animals out there. Behind these doors you can rent a private spa just for you and your spouse or for whomever you want to take in with you.
Well, we did a helicopter, so now we're going to take...
Well, I guess I get to fly the plane here. Now I hear some noise, so we must have started. We're on.
How's that for timing?
I think he was waiting for it.
No, he just put the boat in, he just backed the trailer as we come out the dam.
We're going to go right up the waterfall.
Good for.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's all you do? Hear that? He just forgets.
You want me, buddy? You enjoy that?
Yeah.
Well, we made it back safe and sound. This afternoon we stopping out and doing some mud pools. Boiling mud.
That's good.
Well, this is our last stop in New Zealand. We're in Auckland. Take a quick picture to see how they spell tires here. Now we're going to Victoria Market to see what's for sale. Well, looks like they have a little bit of everything here. You can't get away from them nohow. Well, here are 4 sailboats that go out and race against one another, and you can, go out and be part of the crew. To these birds. Oh, they don't like one another. Have a. Ooh. Needs a little more wind. Now we're looking across the gun emplacements over to Main Harbor.
Devonport's often described by locals as well as visitors sort of being close enough but far enough away.
Well, there is the ferry we came in on coming back. Gorgeous little sunset. Really pretty at night, isn't it?
It's always a nice little, I think cities that sit right on the waterways look quite spectacular at night because they sort of...
now what's that building with the dome on top?
Yeah, that's the highest point. It's about 42 stories. It's simply it's an office.
So it's not a
it's
restaurant
an office block.
or anything.
No, that little dome, in fact, simply is just all the workings to the left. It's not very spectacular actually. It always shines out at night. It's about the one point.
As part of our tour, we get to come out for dinner, and this is a really quaint little restaurant. Little fire going here. It's about 7 o'clock, so there aren't very many people here yet. But we do have a nice little waitress over here.
She's hiding under the couch.
She's hiding. Don't hide.
Thank you very much.
And there's at least part of the menu. Well, there's the main menu. I'm gonna have the chicken, and Susan's gonna have
fish.
The fish. No, she's gonna have the prime eye fillet, or maybe she's gonna have the oven baked minnikin, which is a baby pumpkin. But I think not. Oh, there's Susan's. Pretty as a picture. And we'll back up to my chicken dish. Well, these are two sailboats that are here doing sea trials for a round the world race from Whitsunday Bay or Whitsun Bay or something like that. And they're going to go around the world. So they're two of the New Zealand boats doing the sea trials, and I guess one of those will be chosen for the race. Well, this is it. Our last chance in New Zealand. They got all the little stores here. Catch you to catch your money before you go. So we're just about ready to leave here. 8 o'clock we take off.
Flight 100
One last chance.
to go to Lounge
Just check them out.
2.
T-shirts, postcards, little knicky-knacks, you name it. Oh, little kiwis, little sheepies. Last chance for wool. Last chance for leather. Well, we're back in Australia and Sydney at the Airport Park Royal. We'll be here just for the day. On our way downtown, we're going to go to the Opera House to see a play, and then we'll walk back. Another beautiful day in Sydney. There's the Opera House. We just were able to purchase some tickets for the afternoon performance of Shirley Valentine in about an hour from now. Sydney is still beautiful.
Brown lager time.
A little bit of a night view. A little bit of a Susan view. Susan, say hi. Well, we're at the airport. Time to leave. So we're getting ready to board our flight for Japan. This is the Southern Cross Lounge for us privileged first classers. I think we'll probably go down there and sit somewhere.
There's Jim getting the good stuff.
Well, there's our bird ready to fly. Boarding now, so we're on our way. Menu for our flight to Osaka.
What are we going to have, Jim?
I think I'll have a... Oh, more choices. Okay, we now have something that looks like it's English. So we have some luncheons, fine chocolates,
Breakfast. Oh, macadamia nut sauce. That is.
And they sent a message to our hotel with a list of entrees and for dinner. So we're going to have Chateaubriand for dinner.
We're going to have freshly baked oatmeal cookies during movie intermission.
Alright, sort of here's where we're going to be going.
Jim, move your arm so we can get a good look at it. He's having scrambled eggs and steak. And now we go to mine. I'm going to have Hawaiian.
Well, we landed in Osaka. We're now, who knows where, taking a bus, hopefully to Kyoto. Things are pretty densely packed. And in fact, the bus that we're riding on is pretty densely packed. Well, we made it to the Holiday Inn in Kyoto. It is now Friday morning, and just to take a look in the daylight here now, here is the outskirts of Kyoto, and I'll tell you, they don't let any grass grow under their feet. No grass anywhere. I have never seen so many things jumbled together in my life. At the hotel here, we have a tennis court on the roof. Somehow there's a 100-yard driving range. There's an indoor pool. There's an ice skating rink, Everything is just, or the bowling alley, everything. Space is really at a premium even in our room. We have 2 beds, and you can see this bed is right on the wall. That bed is just about on that wall. No place to put the bags. There's a table and 2 chairs sitting over there that you can't hardly get into. It is like, it's 8 in the morning and we have the workers all lined up, apparently getting their instruction for the day. Bikes and motorbikes are popular for getting to work. Care for some bikes?
Pick one, anyone.
Those bikes go all the way down, far. That might be the boat train.
The sense of peaceful is the temple is not so far from Kyoto Station, and also if you wanted to see how Japanese practice Buddhism.
A lot of work there. Listen to this floor, squeaking, nightingale floor.
Were brought from all over Japan. The best stones in the heat parts of Japan. Because the huge
There's another of those gas stations that has a gas pump on the seat. Oh, there's the Colonel. They have some different kind of Coke machines. Chinese letter. And here are some more of these machines. They give you a picture of everything they're selling. There's some bamboo growing back here. And this bamboo, they say, is only 6 months old. About 50 foot. Our tour guide is going to buy tickets to the Golden Pavilion. And here is the Golden Pavilion. The whole building is covered in 22 karat gold leaf. Here's the temple where you make an offering, throw in some coins, say a little prayer, light some candles. Got a few more candles here. Ring the bell for good luck. Incense is fuming, stinks. Well, we're off.
Yes, on the left side.
ギネス特急にご乗車くださいましてありがとう。この列車は
Yeah, it depends on the region. Yeah, some people do that.
Well, we're at this temple. There's a few four-legged jobbers here. There must be spuds, potatoes. Cooking them somehow in here. Now we're entering. This is in the gate. And he's the gatekeeper. He is quite big. Impressive.
The original temple was built here about 1200 years ago, but the original one was destroyed by civil war twice. So the present building was rebuilt about 300 years ago by the support of the Tokugawa Shogun. And at first the Buddha was cast there, and later the building, the temple was built to house it. The way
So according to our guide, this is the world's largest wooden structure, or the world's largest wooden whatever we are, Buddhist temple, I'm not sure which. And it was built around to keep the guy inside who weighs 450 tons dry. As we get closer, this thing is even more impressive. It is huge. There's where you buy your fortune. I'm not doing that again. I bought a fortune this morning. Had the lady read it for me, and she says I better hang it on a tree so we don't take a bad news or bad luck with it. There's the cauldron of burning incense. Oh, there is that big sucker. And I gave a few oranges. Still have our little fortune here, so she's going to hang it up like the lady told us to do. Leave the bad luck here. Oh no, she ripped it. Oh no.
Now the bad luck is for real.
So this is the god of headaches or medicine or something. If you have a headache, you come over. I guess those are different kinds of cookies. I guess these are lovely. Alright, we were in a Buddhist temple, now we're going to a Shinto shrine. Do a little praying there. Now, these are all lanterns lining. All the lanterns were donated, and apparently you can be a Buddhist and a Shinto and practice the two religions harmoniously. Before praying, you're supposed to wash your hands and your mouth.
I'm ready.
And here's where you get your amulets and your fortunes and your magic potions. Not sure what she's doing. Unlike the Buddhist temples, in the Shinto temple there is no Buddha. Just a little place to pray. And there's a certain way to pray. You bow twice, clap once. Alright, this is to get your fortune here. In Shinto, you shake this little box with these sticks and you get a stick to come out.
Number 20.
This seems better than my fortune. This is a moderately good fortune. From the bridge here.
So the Shijo Street in front of us, crossing in front of us is downtown.
And is that street there? We did make it back to the hotel. So we're wandering around, and here is the bowling alley with 50 lanes. Good one. And directly beneath these 50 lanes are 50 more lanes right down below us, downstairs. Amazing. Plus they have the tennis, plus they have the golf, plus they have the pools, ice skating and all that other stuff. Well, it's now time to start considering what we're going to have for dinner. Here is a nice appetizer of shark's fin soup, about $30 American. And here is some sashimi, Chinese style, nice little fish head. That's excellent. Susan has decided here on just a plain shark fin, forget the soup. We can have that for about $60 American. And since I'm hungry, I'm going for this big fat duck.
I still can't figure out this toilet, what you're supposed to do, and then there's this little faucet over here. But wherever you went, this way.
We're inside some sort of arcade here where they have all kinds of machines, And they're off. As they go around the first turn. Alright, they're coming around the final turn. Oh, look at those guys in the back getting faster. Now we're coming up to the finish line right there, and it is number 2 for 2-to-1 odds. They have quite a few of these games. Well, we're on our last adventure, on our last day. Susan likes these, I call them frog phones. They're all green. So we have taken the Holiday Inn shuttle, and I think we're sort of downtown Saturday morning here. And we're going to walk around and find a pachinko parlor. Well, it's 10 o'clock. Things are just opening up. They have lots of little stores with all these little souvenir-y type things and cookies. Well, we found one pachinko parlor, but not open yet. Well, apparently everything opens at 11, so the shopkeepers are just now busy putting a little water and cleaning. This is what a typical street looks like. Pretty narrow, two-way traffic, parking both sides. Now here you can get a love burger. This looks like an interesting street. There's a little movie house. Apparently they're playing, what is this, Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast? Ticket office. Take your kid here, costs you $18. Well, we're in a pachinko parlor. A whole bunch of games, nobody... This guy seems to be shooting up the pile of balls.
Well, Jim found those pachinko. I don't know what we're doing, but we got a whole pack full of money.
This guy here, he's not even looking at his machine, did real good. This guy won a whole bundle here. He's just shooting those balls and they're going. The guy next to him, he did something good here. He just won all those and just get a little stack over here. Just a view by. Buy these little, look like pancakes. Over here they have a pancake maker. I think we found the market area here. Don't know what this stuff is, some kind of vegetables. This is Susan's dinner. They know how to make the most out of their parking area. Drive in and lift you up and somebody parks up. They have a person in the elevator and one at the elevator. They're always so polite. There's a guy here. He decided he and his dog, they're too damn tired. Decided to take a subway back to, well, to Kyoto Station. And hopefully from Kyoto Station we can get back. Well, we got off the subway, and now we're at Kyoto Station. I don't know, this is a big place. Okey mokey. This thing is huge. Okay, time for lunch. Get a little thing to wipe your hands with. Oh, we're gonna have a little beer. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna get some of that stuff that this guy is eating right down over here. Oh yeah, that's us.
Man, look at all those onions.
Down by the river right in front of the hotel. A lot of people out enjoying the nice day. And they even put like little turtles so that you can walk across the river here. They got the sculpture as turtles. All the little kitties must have been in the water. Uh-oh, dropped it. Oh, hurry up. Let's see what this little girl's gonna do here. Oh, she's gonna fill the hole up. Like a mud puddle.
Nice taking it back.
Oh, she's coming back. Coming back. Oh, good one. Sunday about noon. We're on our way back to Osaka on the airport to say sayonara and head back to home. Now, right in the freeway, it's sort of an amusement park here. Well, we are now at the airport, ready to say sayonara, and it's about time. We've had enough culture shock, ready to get back home now. Well, welcome back to our civilization. We are now just over LA. It's 9:19 in the morning, so we got half of our day back already, and we should be back. So we actually arrived before we left. We left at 3 in the afternoon, and we're getting in at 9:30 in the morning.
Please return your seat
been
back.
playing the
table
machine here.
to their stowed position.
Been watching movies and playing slot machines and all kinds of things on their little
Recheck to make sure that
video
your
thing
seatbelts
here.
are securely fastened. We'll be on
Has
the
a
ground
lot of
shortly.
Nintendo games.
Also at this time, do recheck to
Been
make sure
playing
that
this
all
Las
cigarettes
Vegas.
are extinguished. Thank you.
To the wrong one.
Super Nintendo, Zelda, Link. I played that. That's going through some of those rooms. Anyway, goodbye. Well, we're back home. Feels good. Feels good to be good back with some good old friends.